So I'm Cassandra, VP of DevRel at Observable. I've been here since March. So right as things got a little crazy in the world, a little difficult. And I'm going to run through some awesome questions with Melody, our CEO. And again, feel free to submit questions as they come up for you. So Melody, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got to Observable?
Oh, well, let's see. Where should I start? Well, I'm a native Californian. I grew up in Northern California on a farm, of all things. And I kind of always go back to that because I am grateful and mystified every day of being here with everyone on this meetup and being on this journey to build software in my career and to end up having this opportunity to grow a platform and grow a company and build a team and bring collaboration, to the world. And so yeah, it's I've been in tech my whole career. Mm-hmm. I wrote code for many years, and then I started getting really interested in how to bring people together, for a common goal. And what are the things that we as humans that are writing software that's going out to users in the world, what do we need to be supported and to do a good job and to be our authentic selves? And so a lot of what I think about is how to support the team in our journey together, and then how that translates to how we support the community. Because what we want to do ideally is be living the expression, the collaboration, the creativity, the learning and teaching together. The way we do that as a team and as an organization, we want to live in Observable every day. And so, yeah, so I think a lot about that. I really, when I use Observable, I feel the pain, and I also feel the things that I love. And so a lot of our culture is also about that. We use the product every day. And that's not something in my past as a developer that I was able to do. We weren't using the products that our end users were living on day to day. And I think that's something that's really unique about this opportunity, and something that I feel, again, very grateful for, given my background. Didn't always have that opportunity to have those be aligned and really in sync with each other.
So how did you get to Observable? Like how'd that happen? Tell me about that story.
Yeah. So my first job in tech was at a startup of 10 people. And I worked for a bunch. I worked for some different companies. I was at Google for a while, building and growing systems. And Mike and I met at Google. We worked on systems for search quality evaluation, which is, there's a lot of parallels to what we're doing with Observable, because we aggregated data and we visualized it. And it was all to help developers and data scientists or quants that were working together. And I did a bunch of things. Mike did a bunch of things, but I was following all of his work on D3, and then he started to form, the initial team, which was trying to take the lessons learned from D3 and turn it into something new and different. And he and Tom and Jeremy started to build the platform and launch it out in the public, which is really anything developer focused. That's the way to do it, right? You put it out early and you get feedback. Yep. And that foundation of what they built is really what drew me to Observable, which was this opportunity to bring visualization to software development problems, to data exploration problems. I was working on developer tools at Google, and I really got hooked on focus on the humans writing software, focus on how to make them productive, focus on removing the toil, and focusing on the creativity, the things that we wanted to build, the things that we want to create. And seeing those foundations in Observable of how visualization can assist in that learning, assist for a better work product, a better outcome, and also just assist in better decision making. And all the stuff that I was working on at Google, some of it was visualization, but like we were interacting with, static text files, code. It's, there's just so much opportunity with how visualization can assist in everything that we do around data. Everyone has to interact with data in some way. And that lure of seeing that initial part of the platform and the power that it was bringing to the early users and how the community was developing was so super inspiring for me. And I was like, I want to work on this. And so I took this leap. The startup was smaller than my first startup job.
Yeah.
It was very different. And it took a lot of adaptation, which I think is a big theme for this year, is adaptation, like living in the moment, and adjusting and working together. So yeah, I took that leap, and I am so happy I did. I'm grateful every day for the opportunity, and it's definitely not easy. But I'm inspired by the team that is at Observable, and I'm super inspired by what I see people creating on the platform.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been a huge transition for you, going from the Goog to Observable. So let's talk a little bit about, big truck. Let's talk about what wasn't easy a little bit. So what are the biggest challenges that you've kind of been facing over the last year and a half?
So some of the big challenges had to do with, I think just trying to figure out where, as a small team, where's the place where we can have the most impact. And we're still on that journey. We're still trying to figure that out. And I think that is just part of the startup journey, like prioritizing how you spend your time for the most impact that you can have on the community. And that is, that's something that I don't see going away anytime soon. We want to have the most impact on our users. And sometimes we take risks and we work on something and it didn't have the impact that we thought it was. And so that's where continuous improvement, continuous learning comes into our process of trying to understand what's going to have the most positive impact on our community. So that's the first thing, that like sort of constant, are we responding to what the users need? Are we thinking about how we can help people and launching features on the platform to do that? Mm-hmm. The second thing that I would say is I think as humans, we think we know what's going to happen and we kind of have a plan. And I kind of had a plan at the end of 2019. Yeah. And we all know, we've all experienced what's happening in the world. And so, adapting to growing a team, hiring and onboarding, and then adapting to the pandemic and closing the office and transitioning to full remote. Yeah. And then responding to the social justice movement and protests around Black Lives Matter, and how to support the team, how to bring us together, how to continue to focus on our mission of what we're trying to do with Observable while still taking care of ourselves and taking care of our families and our households, and bringing care and kindness to each other. Because this is something that none of us have really been through collectively together, this combination of things. And so for me, I come back to that grounding of everyone at Observable is writing the software that is contributing to the experience on the community. And I think it's important to have a culture that supports folks within the company and then supports what we bring to the community to help the community during this time. And so that, that's like connected to my heart. It's connected to our mission. It's connected to the people on the team. There's been a lot of obstacles. I don't think it's going to get any easier. I think we're going to continue to have more challenges. And so as a leader and as a member of the team, I'm going to keep thinking about adaptation. How do we evolve? How do we bring another level of support? How do we adapt to the world and to working together in this way? And really that comes from listening, active collaboration, transparency, which is just, we talk about things internally in our team meetings and our stand-ups. And that's there's a long list of challenges that we've worked together through as a team.
Yeah, a lot.
Resilience, right? Resilience and persistence. I'm super grateful.
And care. I mean, this is one of the most caring teams I've been on by far, collectively. So what are some of the things that, you've instituted or we've instituted as a team to kind of help us get through this time? And I know we'll dig into that a little bit with the team in a bit, but I just want to talk through some of those big changes that you've made, and maybe, why you made those.
Yeah, there's probably a couple that we could go through. I mean, I think the first one is that we're a growing team. And if you look at kind of our hiring and our onboarding process, we've really had to adapt. We're a collaborative team. Observable is a collaborative platform. We've had to adjust how we meet new folks that are joining. And we've had quite a few new folks join in 2020, right?
A lot, yeah.
A lot. And so, making sure that the way that we interview and the way that we onboard, which is a combination of sessions, right, with team members and with notebooks and Observable, continues to adapt, and that we have the right support in place. So some things on onboarding, we've definitely made a lot of investment in improving our onboarding processes. We have folks that are buddies. We have one-on-one chats with folks, because in a remote world, we want that connection. And so it takes time and attention to build that with each other when we're fully remote. And so just making sure that we have the space for that is really important. Throughout some other things that I would highlight throughout the last, 4 to 6 months, there's been a lot of anxiety and stress for folks. And so we started an experiment in May, and I always frame everything as like an experiment. We'll try it. We'll see if it works.
Yeah. Not everything works. So
it's an adaptation theme. We went to a 4-day work week, and that is it's a big risk. Now there's a lot of research that says that folks are more productive in that model, and you can look for that out there. But we did it, and we were checking in, and it really, I think, did have a big effect on team members' ability to focus when we're together during the work week, to adapt their schedules, and then to have more time for self-care, for caring for their family, to breathe in this environment. Meeting Zoom, video, that was the latest experiment, right? Meetings Wednesday. And I love that because it forces me, at least as an individual, to sort of think ahead and plan for, like, okay, I'm going to go heads down. I'm going to work on this proposal, or I'm going to prep for this customer meeting. It makes me think ahead. And I think everyone on the team has appreciated just not being on video during those days. Just a bunch of cultural things that we've tried to do to get to know each other, because we're not face to face.
Yeah.
These getting to know you sessions I love, because we make time at least once a month to share parts of ourselves, to meet each other's families and friends and community. And I've learned so much, and I've been so inspired by folks on the team. And while I think maybe some of us on the team are better singers than other, I do like a ritual of happy birthday songs over Zoom.
It's so bad, y'all. Like, it's so bad. It is the perfect 2020 thing, because it's complete chaos and everything's kind of a mess, but it makes you smile at the end.
Yes, it does. It makes me smile. I also think, culturally, life is short, and I really like, once a week on Thursday for our weekly stand-up, we do recognition, which is really a kudos and a thank you for everyone on the team. And that's how we end our work week, which is really, I love that. And then we just started the biweekly cultural talks. So we do those Yeah, we do those every other week, and we've covered respectful communication. We've put together proposals around how we're going to contribute to Black Lives Matter and the LGBTQIA community. Blameless culture, we're doing one next week after next around nonviolent communication and really being aware of the language that we use in our interactions with each other. And those are, I think it's really about making time for those, to sort of elevate the human aspect of how we know each other and how we connect with each other and support each other. And folks on the team have gone through a whole range of challenges through this time.
Yep.
So we're in it for the long game. Our mission of, helping anyone use data to think, helping to bring data literacy to the world, that's a decade-long journey. And I'm excited to be part of it. So lots more to do, lots more to improve. And we'll keep adapting.
Yeah, it's a great quality that we seem to have, this theme of adaptation. So as you've had to kind of carry the team through these difficult times, right, and get the collaboration and understand, where we need to compromise and make changes. Perhaps other than adaptation, what do you feel is like the most important quality of a leader? And I would even venture to say, like, right now, like, what is the most important quality of a leader right now on a team that's going through some stuff?
It's hard to find one word.
Yeah. Well, you could describe.
Empathy to me is about trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes and really trying to understand. I think just like to oversimplify, kindness, which means, kind of sometimes checking your own feelings to be there to support, and knowing that folks are going to be there to support you. The other phrase I like to use is that, it's almost like you feel like your team's there all the time for you if you need them. And like kind of resting and trusting in that. That's what I want everyone on the Observable team to feel. And that's what I want us to bring out into the community as we're doing user support and as we're working on better examples. And so I think that sort of like kindness and empathy to me is one thing that leaders need to bring to organizations right now. And you can have kindness with vision and, and striving for success. They're not mutually exclusive. But there are a lot of dynamics right now in the world of, that are not coming from a place of kindness. They're coming from a place of control. And I think, we all want Observable to be a place where we're grounded in bringing our best selves. We're going to do our best work when we're our best selves. And then we're going to take that out to positively impact as many people in the world as we can. So starting from kindness for yourself, for your teammates, for our community, and understanding that things are hard. That's the empathy part of it.
Yes. So this may be kind of a silly question because you've gone through like all of these awesome components of the company and growing the company, et cetera. But like, what's your favorite part of being a part of the Observable journey?
It's like asking what my favorite kid is. I mean, I only have one kid, so I can't say that. Right? We've evolved over the last 6 months. We have a design team in place. I listen and I see their proposals around what they're building and what they're thinking through. I'm so inspired. Oh my God.
Yep.
Build that.
Yep.
The Developer did this 4 months ago.
Yeah, and that's true.
We're supporting the community. We're figuring out the video channel launched with intro videos on how to use Observable. It's incredible. The engineering team is building, prototypes and sort of but like the next generation of some of the features that are already there that folks love, and new features to connect the community. We have a product voice on board with Deepti and a customer voice on board with Cobus, who's trying to, get us to support our team's customers. Francis is, next leveling our interview process and how we find folks. And Aaron is helping to provide support for the team and operations. I mean, I look at how much has changed over the last 4 months to support our team and to support the mission of what we're doing. And that is what blows my mind. Just to be inspired by all of the ideas. Every day I learn something. I learn many things. And I am inspired and I grow because of the team. And that's my favorite part. And maybe it's just the energy and the ideas and the creativity and the connection. Everyone on the team is so different in so many ways. And if we want to reach as many people on the platform as possible, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to continue to have diverse voices, diverse backgrounds. We have folks on the team that have been at startups and big companies, have been in freelance roles, folks that are teachers, folks that have been in completely different roles. Like it's incredible. So I know I'm gushing, but
just a little bit. I mean,
just a little bit. The inspiration and the learning is, every day I finish my day and I share something with my daughter and she's like, what did you do? Wow, that's cool. What did you learn? What did someone do? And so I'm really grateful.
That is awesome. You just talked about these so many people, so many different teams kind of coming together at one time. And, one thing I haven't seen often in a very, very early stage startup is the diversification of teams in and of itself. So how did you make the decision to early on have these teams, have these team leaders, et cetera, kind of in their own domains? How did you come to that decision rather than keeping it small?
That's a great question. And I will tell you, at the end of last year, 2019, I got a lot of odd looks and questioning about this approach.
Yeah.
And then I shared my thought process, which is the foundation of Observable to help folks explore data and visualization for some new insight, some new understanding, and then to communicate that, to share it with the world, right? You can send anyone the notebook. That we want that experience to be approachable and inclusive. So hiring 20 engineers, bless us, but we think sometimes we're designers and some of us have better design sense, but designers and researchers, Henri just joined, who's our user experience researcher, they really bring this skill and this insight and this vision into how we develop. So the pairing of design and engineering. And I believe as a platform, Observable needs to continue to improve the user experience. And so that design voice is critical. So what's the biggest responsibility of Observable? It's the community. We're here to help our users create. And that's developer relations. And I made mistakes in the past where I didn't invest early on in developer relations. And we missed opportunities to learn from the community. And I didn't want to make that mistake again. And so at Observable from the very beginning, I'm like, developer relations is critical. It's how we listen and learn and help and support the community and bring their feedback into how we do the product development. Right? Which is the marrying of product and design and engineering. And so, I have strong opinions about that.
Yes.
To me, that's think of all those different perspectives coming and those inputs coming together to shape a platform at the early stage. I believe in the power of that. And I think hopefully our users will start to see those perspectives coming into how we support them and the features that we continue to launch and the improvements that we continue to make in the latter half of 2020. And so with everything that we've gone through and forming and building this team and bringing together all this expertise, I am really excited about what we're going to be bringing out into the platform in the remainder of 2020 and beyond. And we'll do that together.
I am too. Yay. Awesome. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Although I do feel like I could have so many more. I think we're going to segue into bringing on some of the rest of the team. But do we have any questions?
There was a great question about, I think I saw it as I was taking a sip of tea, about kind of sharing the 4-day work week. I'm going to be doing some posts that are just observable notebooks in the next 7 weeks on how we work and what our work week looks like. So that one's already on my list. And then there was an observation of, I think that was the only.
Yeah, there was one on the 4-day work week. And so we will be talking about that more as Melody writes more posts. And in fact, there is one currently in which that we just posted yesterday, which Melody goes over a lot of this and some more. There's another question hearing about how the team uses Observable. I'm curious how notebooks play into the design process.
I love that question.
Because it's a lot.
I know. So I think it's probably worth a longer conversation, but the TLDR is that all of our code, we use GitHub, right, for our development. And we use some other tools to support operating the site, like for our on-call responsibilities and for user support, which everyone in the company does user support. But we try and do the majority of our work in Observable. So we write what are our design docs, our product overview docs, our tech design docs, our roadmaps are in there. We also write dashboards to understand what's happening on the platform, like feature usage. That's this. Let me share another example. So someone asked a question, I think it was Aaron, about what's an example of a risk that didn't have an expected impact.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next one.
We write dashboards in Observable prior to a feature launching. We just launched public comments, which again, it's great. I have notebooks, I get comments on them. It's a way for us in the community to interact and to ask each other questions. And we were expecting to have more usage of comments. So we've been sort of exploring how can we provide more support around it? How can we get the word out about comments as a way to communicate with each other? We're still trying to learn if that's resonating with the community. So that's one where I think we're still trying to figure it out. That answers that question, but yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few design questions on here. So I feel like as a follow-up, we may end up doing a design panel. Just bring on the design team and they can answer all your questions. For sure. I think we're out of time for just you and I.
Okay.
And thank you again, Melody, so much for deep diving with us and answering all my questions.
Thanks, Cass.